Hey, welcome back to Normal Guy Talk. Captain Marvel just made $500 million in its first weekend. It's a massive monetary success, and men are having meltdowns. I don't know why, because 61% of all the tickets sold, 61% of the audience were men. Men were 61% of this audience. The men who were saying, we're not going to this, we're boycotting this. They couldn't stay away from the flame. They were like moths drawn to the flame, and they wanted to go and burn in the revelry, and they wanted to come back and mock it and tear it down and destroy it and pick it apart and put it on their YouTube channels. But instead of tearing the thing down, instead of seeing it become this massive monetary failure, they actually fed the beast, and they caused it to bloat and to glow, and they fed the minds of Brie Larson and Kevin Feige, and they think they have a winning recipe, and they're going to go and they're going to produce more of this stuff and more and more and more. But the difference is, and we talked about this last time, as to why Captain Marvel was going to fail, and my second movie, why Captain Marvel would not fail, both of them kind of a contrast, but actually in reality they are both very truthful, is number one, this movie did not fail. It was a success primarily because women didn't give a care. Women did not care what Brie Larson said. They could care less about Brie Larson. Now, that's a man thing, not a woman thing. So women just wanted to go see a good movie, and they're out, and it's the only movie really playing that was of any type of weighty material. So they said to their husbands or their boyfriends with them, hey, let's go see this movie. And they were like, I don't know, there's a lot of bad press about it. Maybe I shouldn't see it. It's like to give them the little puppy dog, snuggy boogies. Well, if you love me, you'll go see the movie. And they're like, okay, I do love you, so we'll go see the movie. And dads wanted their kids to have a good time, and it's a Marvel movie, and they've had 10 years of Marvel movies, and their kids have the action figures, so they have to take their kids because they love their kids. And ultimately, I think love won out in the end. Now, there's a lot of men out there who say this is baloney, but this is how the world really works. This is how it really works. They don't care about some little chick who talks about white men. They don't care about these very negative, nasty people, because the truth of the matter is that majority of the people in Hollywood in these movies are very negative, very nasty, very perverted people. Very perverted. So why aren't we getting on to them about those things? Well, well, they personally insulted you. That's the difference. That's the difference. You've been personally insulted. So you try to go against the movie, you try to tear the movie down, but in reality, you actually support the thing, and it's blown up to $500 million, and it'll probably easily make the $1 billion mark. Well, I put it at $120 million and $350 million over the life of the movie in the movie theaters, which it blew my projections way out of the water. I thought that we had some type of way that we were going to cause a difference, a change in the monetary earnings, but in reality, we just bloated the thing and helped the thing move further, and just because we couldn't stay away from the flame, we couldn't turn it down. And the second reason why this movie succeeded is Kevin Feige and Marvel have a more loyal fan base than Star Wars does. Star Wars people are like, we're out, we're done, we're done with Star Wars. Well, Marvel's like, well, yeah, we might give it another chance, and stuff like that. We've had 10 years of great movies. Why? Well, let's give it one shot and see what it's like. And then they got to the movie, and the movie's okay. It's just an okay movie. I think Rotten Tomatoes has it in the high 70s somewhere, which is just, it's like a C movie, a high C. High C student's okay. Once you get down to the D's and the F's that you got problems, but it's a high C movie. And the women, they weren't really upset about this movie. And this is how I knew Aquaman was going to be such a big success, because women didn't care. They wanted to go see the thing. My wife wanted to go, hey, it's a Marvel movie. It's a superhero. I want to go see a superhero movie. That's how I knew this thing was going to be a success. I didn't know it'd be this big of a success, but I knew it would be a success. But the negativity and the real monetary change that you're going to see, the real hit that's going to happen with this movie, like I said in my last video, is not going to be directly with this movie. It's going to be with preceding movies, as Kevin Feige, as Brie Larson, as Kathleen Kennedy, as Bob Iger think that they've run across a winning recipe, and they can keep, okay, well, gosh, we didn't have to put anything into this movie, and this little chick, she got us $500 million the first weekend. We can just multiply this, and we can do all the movies just like this, because Lord knows Robert Downey Jr., Chris Pratt, Chris Hemsworth, and all these other people, they can't do that. Scarlett Johansson surely can't do that. There's no way she'd get those kind of numbers in the movie. But this Brie Larson character did. Well, maybe they don't realize that it's because of the negativity. Men had to go see this movie. They had to see this terrible movie. They had to be a part of the negativity. You have to go see the house burn. You have to go see the train wreck. You have to see the dam that breaks and floods the valley. You have to go see it. It's like an imperative inside of us. We must go see this movie. And that's what happened here. So we blew blew the thing up. It would have probably only made 250, 350 million bucks its entire life in the movies if we hadn't blown the thing up. It'd have got a C average review and no one would care. They'd move on and then they'd change the recipe. We probably actually did more harm to ourselves and to the Marvel universe than this movie did. Had we left it alone, it just would have done average. And Kevin Feige went, well, I don't like this, I don't want to do this again, so let's change the recipe. Or maybe he would keep going down this track because now he has a different head. He's got the mouse on top, and the mouse says that we are feminists. The mouse says, let's go in this negative way. Let's go ahead and we're going to advertise this to women and put women above men and blah, blah, blah. You guys know the story of the negativity surrounding the Kathleen Kennedy scandals and all these various different things. I probably don't have to tell you about that. If you need to know more about that, you can go ahead and visit other people's website where they talk about this stuff, or YouTube videos. I don't want to talk about this kind of stuff. It's very negative, it's very nasty, and it's very annoying. So, but they think they have a winning recipe now, and they're going to repeat it, and it's going to probably actually cause more damage to the Marvel universe because they're going to want to repeat this very successful recipe that they have, and people are just tired of it. So I think a shift is probably going to come. Like I said in previous videos, people are going to want to start going to DC. Shazam probably ain't going to do as well as this movie. I'm going to be very honest with you guys. I know we want it to do as well as this movie. We want it to win out and all these things, but Vengeance is not as soul stirring, and it does not pull the money out of the pocketbooks the same way that negativity does. You can win in life with doing two things. You can be either very, very good at something, or you can be horrifically negative and bad at something, or nasty at something. That is why nudity and pornography and all these nasty things are so successful, because they're so very bad. Honestly, that's why. And the other side of the flip coin is you have to be extremely good to get anywhere, and there's not really a whole lot of middle ground. So this movie had such negativity that it greatly succeeded because of the negativity. Well, it's not going to work the second time around. So we're going to have to go forward. And like I said, the monetary changes that we're going to see, the monetary hit, the harm that's going to be caused to Disney and Marvel is not going to be from this particular movie, like I said, but it will be in future movies. It will cause people to be disinterested, because a 70 on a tomato meter is not a good score for Marvel movies. It's a very bad, it's not a super negative, but it's a negative score, and that is going to weigh on people's minds. It's an okay movie, but if another movie happens to come out that has a little more positivity or negativity around it, then we're going to want to go see that movie instead. So let me know what you guys think in the comments, and I apologize to you guys if your world is destroyed because of this movie succeeding. Unfortunately, the negativity probably blew the thing up and helped it be successful as it was. Men, 61% of you in the seats were men, so you weren't boycotting it as much as what you're saying. So let me know what you think in the comments, and very interesting.